Hello dear students. In the previous session, we have discussed about the properties of the system. In that, we have discussed about the types of properties of the system, extensive properties and intensive properties, and some of the examples for both, right? Those concepts are very much important from the point of your theory examination as well as for your CET and NEET examinations, okay? In today's session, we are going to discuss about the state of a system. What is the state of a system? State of a system is nothing but condition of the system at a specific time which is described in terms of certain measurable macroscopic properties such as pressure, temperature, volume, etc. I'll repeat the sentence. What is state of the system? State of a system is nothing but condition of the system at a specific time which is described in terms of these macroscopic properties. That means for every system there are certain macroscopic properties and they have certain values, right? If the macroscopic properties of the system has the definite value, then we can say that system has a definite state. For example, I'll consider a test tube in which some reaction mixture. I'll consider this reaction mixture in the test tube as the system. This system has its own properties. For example, it has the temperature of around 27 degrees Celsius, pressure of 1 atmosphere, volume of around 30 ml, etc. So these are all the macroscopic properties of this system. These macroscopic properties have the definite values, right? So these values represent the state of the system. Okay? These values of the macroscopic properties are nothing but the state of the system. If these values changes, any one of these value or more than one of these value changes, that means the state of the system also changes. State also changes. For example, if temperature is changes into around 30 degrees Celsius and pressure, volume, they may be same or they may also changes. Then we can say the state of the system has changed from initial state to final state. These values then represents final state and these values are initial states. I hope you got this. The values of the macroscopic properties represent the state of the system. If any one of the value or more than one of the macroscopic properties changes from one value to another value, that means the state of the system also changes. This state is initial state and that state is final state. Okay, this is about the state of the system. Here you can observe that the properties values define the state of the system. That means if the values changes, then we can say state is also changes, right? That means they have the capability to vary the state of the system. Hence, we can call them as state variables. State variables. What are state variables? The macroscopic properties which can vary the state of the system. They are called state variables. Examples: temperature, pressure, volume, any macroscopic properties, they are all comes under this state variables. Now, this state variables can be divided into state function and path functions. State functions and path functions. What are state functions? State functions are the state variables whose value depends only on the initial state and final state of the system, but not on the path followed. That means initial state, if it is the initial state of the system and it's the final state of the system, then some of the state variables depends only on the initial state and final state of the system, but not on the how it reached, how the final state is reached. They don't bother about the path, okay, between the initial state and final state. They only depends on the initial state and final state. For example, temperature, pressure, volume, etc. They are all state functions. They depends only on the initial state and final state, not on the path. To explain this, let me take a graph here. I will consider PV graph, pressure versus volume graph. In this graph, there is a curve and here another curve. Okay. The path of this curve and this curve is completely different. It has this path and it has this. The path is different, but the initial and final points, they are same. Okay. Here if I consider delta P, that means change in pressure, then that will be final pressure minus initial pressure. Here the final pressure and initial pressure value will be same. For both the curves, the final pressure and initial pressure will be same. In the same way, if I consider delta V, that also V final minus V initial. For both the curves, initial volume and final volume value will be same. Path is different for both the curve, but the values of final pressure and initial pressure, final volume and initial volume will be same. Hence, this pressure and volume, they are state functions. They don't depend upon the path. They only depend upon the final value and initial value. Okay. Now, I'll take another example to explain this. I'll take ice. Okay. Usually, the temperature of ice is around 0 degree Celsius, right? I'll consider that 0 degree Celsius as T1, temperature 1. Okay. I'll take ice. Now, I'll heat this ice. Okay. What happens? The temperature of ice rises and it converts into water. Up to 10 degrees Celsius, I will heat this ice. Okay. I will consider this 10 degrees Celsius as temperature T2. Okay. Here, I may heat the ice vigorously or I may heat this ice step by step, slowly. I can heat this ice fastly, vigorously. That means I can provide more heat at a time, or I can provide little bit heat step by step. Okay. Or even I can reduce the temperature still lower, that means minus 5 degrees Celsius up to minus 5 degrees Celsius. Then again I will increase the temperature up to 10 degrees Celsius. Here, observe here, the paths are completely different. In all these three cases, the initial temperature and final temperature, they are fixed. The initial temperature, initial state and final state 0 degrees Celsius and 10 degrees Celsius are fixed. But the path is different. I can heat the ice more vigorously. That means I can provide more heat at a time, or I can provide less heat step by step, or I can reduce the temperature still up to minus 5 degrees Celsius, then I can increase. Here the paths are different, but the initial and final temperature, they are fixed. That means temperature depends only on the initial and final state of the system. 0 degree and 10 degrees Celsius are fixed, right? Here the paths are not considered. Hence the temperature is a state function. Now let's discuss about the path functions. Path functions. What are path functions? The state variables whose values depends on the path between the initial state and final state of the system, they are called path functions. Path functions are nothing but the state variables whose values depends on the path between the initial and final state of the system. They are called path functions. The example for path functions are work and heat. These two are the best examples for path functions. Except work and heat, almost all the other state variables are state functions. Okay. Here, work is definitely a path function. It depends on path. For example, if you want to reach the third floor from the ground floor, if you take the steps to reach there, then you need to do more work. Or if you take elevator or escalator, then you need not to do that much work, right? That means Work depends on the path which you choose. Hence, work is a path function. Similarly, heat is also a path function. Okay, so this is all about the path functions and state functions. State functions are the state variables whose value depends only on the initial state and final state, but not on the path. Path functions are the state variables whose value depends on the path between initial state and final state. Okay, so this is all about the state functions and path functions. Now let's move on to the other concept in this chapter, that is thermodynamic equilibrium. Thermodynamic equilibrium. Here, the meaning of the word equilibrium means a state of balance. Equilibrium, generally the meaning of equilibrium is a state of balance. A state of balance. Okay. Here, any system is said to have attained the thermodynamic equilibrium when the properties of the system does not change with the time. You know that properties of the system define the state of the system, right? When the properties of the system changes, the state of the system also changes. If the properties keep on changing, then if the properties keep on changing with the time, then we cannot define state of the system properly. In order to define the state of the system properly, these properties should not change with the time. Okay. Hence, this concept is important, thermodynamic equilibrium. There are three types of thermodynamic equilibrium. The first one is chemical equilibrium. Chemical equilibrium. Second one is mechanical equilibrium. Mechanical equilibrium. Third one is thermal equilibrium. What is chemical equilibrium? If the chemical composition of the system is fixed and definite. If the chemical composition of the system is fixed and definite, then we can say that that system has chemical equilibrium. Then what is mechanical equilibrium? If there is no work, if there is no chemical work or mechanical work between the system and surrounding, that means no work is done on the system or no work is done by the system, then we can say that that system is in mechanical equilibrium. No work on the system or by the system. Now, the third type of thermodynamic equilibrium, that is thermal equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium means the temperature is constant. Temperature is constant. That means no heat is exchanged between system and surrounding. Then the temperature will become constant. Then we can say that that system is in thermal equilibrium. When a system has all these type of equilibrium, when a system attain these three types of equilibrium, then we can say that that system is in thermodynamically equilibrium state. Okay. Now let's discuss about other concept, that is thermodynamic process. When the thermodynamics system changes from one state to another state, the operation which occurs there is called thermodynamic process. Okay. There are various types of thermodynamic processes. The first one is isothermal process. Isothermal process. What is isothermal process? The thermodynamic process at which the temperature is constant. Here the temperature is constant. That is called isothermal process. Temperature is constant means delta T is 0. Change in temperature is 0. Okay. What is isothermal process? The thermodynamic process where the temperature is constant is called isothermal process. There delta T is 0. The second thermodynamic process is isobaric process. Isobaric process. The thermodynamic process in which pressure is constant. Pressure is constant is called isobaric process. That means pressure is constant means change in pressure is 0. Delta P is 0. Okay. And the other type of process is isochoric process. Isochoric process. What is isochoric process? The thermodynamic process in which volume is constant. Volume is constant is called isochoric process. Here delta V is 0. Change in volume is 0. Okay. Then other type of process, thermodynamic process is adiabatic process. Fourth type is adiabatic process. Adiabatic process. The thermodynamic process in which heat is constant. Heat is constant. That means there is no exchange of heat between the system and surrounding. Heat is constant. Then we can call that process as adiabatic process. That means here delta Q, change in heat, is equal to 0. Heat is usually represented by the letter Q. Here delta Q is 0. Okay. Now let's move on to the other type of thermodynamic process, that is cyclic process. Cyclic process. The thermodynamic process in which system undergoes different states and finally returns to its initial state. That is called cyclic process. The system undergo different states, finally returns to the initial state only. In cyclic process, the initial state and final state both are same. This type of process is called cyclic process. Okay. In a cyclic process, the change in any state function is 0. For example, change in temperature, delta T is 0. Change in pressure, delta P is 0. Change in internal energy or any other energy, that is equal to 0. That means if you consider any state variables, change in any state variables, that will be 0. Why? Because here the initial state and final state both are same. In a cyclic process, the initial state and final state both are same. Hence, the change in any state variables will become 0. But if we consider the change in path functions, that is change in heat or change in work, change in heat, that is delta Q, or change in work, delta W, they are not equal to 0. Even the initial and final states are same, the work is done, right? It cannot be 0. In the same way, the heat also cannot be 0. Path functions, the change in path functions cannot be 0, but the change in any state functions can be 0 in the cyclic process. The other type of thermodynamic processes are reversible and irreversible processes. We are going to discuss about the reversible and irreversible processes in the coming sessions. Okay. Thank you.